bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up. Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. .320 Solar. Power up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Sports Talk 49 live on BucsReport.com every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Monday doing post-game, Friday doing pre-game, unless the schedule is different, Thursday night games and things like that in case everything gets flexed. Of course, this show is brought to you by none other than 320solar.com. Put the power back into your pocket. Go to 320solar.com and get yourself a consultation and put some power back into your pocket. Also, make sure to check out mycannabiscard.com. Cannabis card is effectively linking new patients with the easiest licensed doctors in over 25 and all 32 states. Medical marijuana is legal. Just mentioned, save up to 30% on evaluation costs. Just mentioned Bucks Report. Also, go to Fast Track Cannabis Clinics of America. Is the nation's largest medical marijuana doctor network with over 25 state licensed doctors in all 32 states is legal. And also, last but not least, the Deck Bar and Grill East of Del Sol. Go out and check out Cedric Robinson and come out there and watch with the guy with the Bucks fans or other teams fans. It's a great experience, football experience of people from all different teams, which is great. And just watch football together, trash talk or whatever. Just have a good time. Make sure to check those out. I mentioned Bucks Report. What's going on, Misador? Buckaholics, Indiana chapter. Today we will discuss, well, first off, before I get into that, make sure to check out all the other great shows here on Bucks Report. Today you have me at 3 o'clock, and you have the Sports Web at between 9 and 12 today, coming on with Peter Blake in the Sports Web. Now, also, what we're going to go over today is we're going to talk Buccaneers versus Raiders, just a little talk about that, injury update, and COVID-19 with the Buccaneers-Raiders game. Of course, the Buccaneers game got flexed to 4:05 instead of the primetime game. I will go over Madden 21 prediction. Of course, you'll go over one of my favorite segments, the winning angle, which was tough doing with Gruden, but I figured out what he likes to do. And, of course, you can call in at 727-475-1882 or be a part of the show with the link. I'll add that link here. I didn't do that earlier. I apologize. And you can join the show with the link. So first and foremost, let's talk about the Raiders. Of course, it's John Gruden out there in the not the Oakland Raiders, but the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me say that correctly. Raiders record is currently 3-2. David Carr, 73.1 completion rating with 1,400 yards passing, 11 TDs, 1 interception. He's been sacked 8 times. His top receivers are Darren Waller, the tight end, with 34 receptions on the year, and Hunter Renfrow with 17 receptions. So he really only looks for 2 guys, mostly Darren Waller. And we'll talk about that in the winning angle. That's what I had to look at. I was like, so what does he like to do? What is his tendencies? What are things like this? So that's what I had to look for in that. Because it was pretty tough with the Raiders, to be quite honest, with their defense and their offense. It was quite tough to point out something as easy as it was for some other teams. But eventually I figured it out. So I figured out with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. Where we at? Sack leader Max Crosby, I believe he has 3. Team stats on offense: 30.2, and opponents are 25.3. And then that's the points scored for each team on offense, what they usually score. Actually, Raiders have given up more points against than they have scored. When you look at it, I think it's like 1 or 2 points that they've given up on defense versus they score. And they're like, well, how can you do that and still have 3-2 record? Well, the game that you lost, you lost by an astronomical number versus what you scored that game. That's how that happens. But that's what that is. So let's get into it. We'll talk about the injury update with COVID and from Ian Rapoport and see what he has to say, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. Here you go.
Well, the NFL and the NFLPA are investigating the situation surrounding the Raiders' COVID-19, their protocols, and how strictly they adhere to them. You mentioned the Raiders put some players on the COVID-19 reserve list. They put a lot of players on the COVID-19 reserve list. It's not just Trent Brown and David Arnett who tested positive. It's every offensive lineman. All of the starting offensive line, who, as Tom Pelissero mentioned, were spotted on camera in the internal videos from the Raiders hanging out without masks on. They also apparently are looking into, the NFL and the NFLPA, whether or not Trent Brown was wearing his tracking device. Either way, all of these guys who are considered to be high-risk close contacts with Trent Brown were put on the COVID-19 reserve list. It doesn't mean that they can't play on Sunday. It just means they have to clear some protocols and get off the reserve list to do that. One interesting note here, Jonathan Abram, the star safety, also on the COVID-19 reserve list. He's listed as a Tuesday interaction with Trent Brown. That makes a very tough timetable, very tough turnaround for him to be able to actually play on Sunday. We'll be keeping our eye on that. Meanwhile, the schedule did change because of this situation, but the NFL didn't move the Raiders to Monday or Tuesday. They actually moved them to Sunday afternoon. They moved the Arizona Cardinals Seahawks game to Sunday night. The reason they did that is if there is another positive test for the Raiders moving forward, putting them in the afternoon slot gives the NFL added flexibility in case that game needs to move days.
And there you have it. If you're not in the know, you're in the know now, and that is why they moved the scheduled game to 4:05, just so you don't miss out on the primetime game if another COVID situation pops up. And that is why that happened. If you didn't know that. But since then, when that was reported at 10:28 this morning, it was reported none of the Raiders tested positive for COVID. There was no cases, and the game should schedule to go on. Leonard Fournette is scheduled to play. Raiders safety Abrams is scheduled to miss this game, possibly, more than likely. He's scheduled to miss this game. So look forward to that and see what's going on in this situation. Keep an eye on that. But the Bucs will play at 4:05 on Sunday. You just saw there Seattle and Arizona will play Sunday night, which should be a good matchup, good divisional matchup in a tough division, one of the hardest divisions in football now. So that's pretty much what's going on right now as far as that. So looks like the Bucs game will go on. No new test came out. And again, will be played at 4:05 on Sunday. Unfortunately, they don't get the primetime game back, but they do get to play. And speaking of play, Make sure you go donate to breast cancer awareness. Any donations to the link I posted in the description to the show that you're watching can enter you into a chance to win a pink Mike Females Mike Evans jersey. If you have mom, sister, any family member you want to give it away or give it away or keep it yourself, it's Mike Evans pink jersey. It's too far for me to reach right now while I'm live on here. I'll bring it back on for you. We'll talk about it again. But any donation, big or small, I know people's living situations are different because with COVID and everything going on. And I would, winner I'll be announced at the end of October, and then mail the jersey out to you. But giving away a Mike Evans jersey just for donating to breast cancer awareness, and the link I click put in the description box. You just donate whatever you can there. Your name will pop up, and then I'll do a drawing, and then whoever wins, I'll just mail that out to them. Just be a part of something special. You don't have to be a superstar to make a difference. Now, with that being said, so we talked about that. We talked about the Raiders. Carr's completion rate and only throwing one pick. He has 11 TDs, about 1,400 yards passing, etc., etc. So let's get into Madden 21 updates. So we're going to talk about that and see what you guys got to say. So I experimented with putting myself in the shot, and the audio was a little low on the game, so I'll give you a heads up. But I know what to do next time. Because I try to do a little commentary and reaction to the game a little bit while watching it. So bear with me on this one. It gets higher near the end. It's not too long. So check it out. Madden 21 predictions. Oh, touchdown. There you go. Big Mike. Get it, Big Mike. Get it, Big Mike. He was a no-show last week. Looked like he showed up this week. John Gruden looks pissed.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll throw from the gun. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. This is intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Here comes the Tampa Bay. Carr to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Buccaneers have it. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance.
Zeros. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this. You say one to represent like the best player of all.
Ugly score. Set 13-6 with Madden, with only 6-minute quarters. Not a running clock like that. But you're just doing this as Blake Anthony on Sports Talk 49 live on Bucks Report every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. That is powered by 320 Solar. Put the power back into your pocket. That was Madden 21 predictions. Madden actually got us win. Madden got the Buccaneers winning this week. 13-6. It was ugly, but it was a win. Misador says 31-10. I don't know. Raiders been able to score some points, Misador, but the defense is pretty nasty. I'll say now, what's a couple days early. I'll say about 28-13, 28-14, something like that. I think Raiders will score, but the Bucks will stay 2 up on them. 28-14. What do you guys think? Phone lines are open, 727-475-182. I posted the link in the chat as well if you want to get on there. I also found the jersey, and I just wanted to show you guys my breast cancer awareness video here real quick. Like I said, if you click that link in the description box, any donation from $1 to $500 enters you in the chance to win a Mike Evans jersey. But check this out real quick.
What's up, everybody? This is Blake Anthony for Sports Talk 49, always seeing on Bucks Report, coming with a public service announcement. And the announcement is, be cautious and be friendly. It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and here at Bucks Report and Sports Talk 49, we're doing our part to try to contribute to awareness and have some fun while doing it. Any donations on the link that I've attached to any of my shows or on my Twitter page at Blake Anthony 49, you will enter yourself in a chance to win a pink Mike Evans jersey, along with a pink mask you can give to your loved one in your family or a friend or somebody that likes Mike Evans and likes pink gear or wants to support breast cancer awareness. So make sure to look for that link. If you're not sure, just add me on social media at Blake Anthony 49, as seen right here on Twitter. And I always respond to anybody who reaches out, and I'll respond back. Again, if you have any questions, just go right there. But again, any donations, big, small, it doesn't matter. Any entry enters you in a chance to win a Mike Evans jersey, a pink Mike Evans jersey as shown before. And as always, you can find me here every Monday and Friday on Bucks Report, Monday doing postgame, Friday doing pregame. So you guys get out there, donate what you can, share and like this video, and go Bucks and go bring awareness to breast cancer awareness.
There you have it. And as I said, I promised I would have it. A pink Mike Evans jersey is here, ready to be shipped out, and a pink mask to go along with it. So you can get the items, 2 different items to somebody, or keep it for yourself if you're a female. It's just awesome to contribute and be a part of things like that. Since the Buccaneers can't do too much this year with COVID and all that stuff, everything's much different. So unfortunately, that's the way it is. Hey, Blake, I got something maybe we can work on together. I'll message you tomorrow. Yeah, I always listen to you, Misador, by all means. Just to recall, there will be no handshakes this week? Probably not. He gets very happy feet. Yep, we'll get into that with Derek Carr and tendencies. I told you it was hard at first, but it is. But speaking of at first, it'll be his first game, Steve McClendon, out of the New York Jets camp, somebody that's familiar with Arians and Bowles. A video, just check out this video here posted by Greg Auman checking out practice and of him, Steve ready to go, Steve McClendon ready to go and contribute to Sunday's game. He says he's been watching his iPad and studying the play. It just has to learn a new terminology, but the defense is something he's already familiar with. As you can see, he'll be wearing 96 on Sunday. And he's ready to rock and roll. The defense is a little bit more easier than offense. You just got to get out there and play, and he can communicate with his fellow teammates and things there. The video was provided by Greg Auman of The Athletic. So, yeah, that should be it with that. Let me make sure I got everything on the list before we go into the half and then go into the second half. Again, phone lines are open, 727-475-1882. We can take 1 or 2 before we go into the mid-mark, and then at the second half, we'll go into the winning angle and go in from there. But, yeah, as a score prediction, I got 28-14. Like I said, the Raiders have they have a good offense, but it really flows through Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow for the most part when I look at it. Carr does get a little bit antsy with the pressures, and you already know Bowles is going to do his best to keep Carr uncomfortable. And their defense does give up a lot of points. As I stated earlier, they've given up more points than they have on defense than they've scored on offense. Misadora comments in the comments section. How do you think that rotation will look at DT? I think Nacho looked good. I said that before the game. This offseason, he lost weight. He looks way more in shape. He's mentally ready to play. He's focused. He's a great motivator of his teammates. They say he talk a lot of trash just to motivate people. The rotation should be fine though. And it's quality rotation. I know I said Monday. He's 34 years of age, but it's good because you just got to do rotation. He's not a full, nobody on the D line really plays every down. You'll be exhausted. You won't be able to get pass rush when you need to. So that's why they rotate in and out on packages and stuff like that. You let you get warmed up, get your blood pumping, get your thing going, and then bring in somebody else to do the same thing. Just flip back and forth. I always compare it a little bit like NBA a little bit, with lineups and things like that. But I think it's cool, doing that rotational thing where guys can be 100% out there and not get stuck on the field and possibly get hurt, and things like that when you're playing tired and all that. But the rotation should be fine, Misa. Only thing is verbiage, and he can ask the guys on the field if he's not sure about something. But the majority of he's already played in this defense, so what he's looking at is nothing new. But I want to give a shout out though. Coach Lowe does a great job out there as the defensive line assistant, man, and getting these guys prepared and getting performance out of it. Guys like William Golston, a guy I've been hard on. Now he gets to coach Steve McClendon, the progression of Via Vea, and these women coaches. And I always forget the women's strength coach that's there. She got that last name that I always have a tough time pronouncing. But I give a shout out to those women out there on the Buccaneers staff that took a lot of verbal punishment on social media that I pointed out and addressed. But let me give a shout out when shout out is due. Way to go, Coach Lowe. Misador, what do you say? I often think of D-line rotation like a shift changes in hockey. Yeah, line change or whatever. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's like that. That's a perfect example. Those guys get out, get in, and maybe one group of guys are having more success than the other. It just works. That's the way it works. That's a perfect example. You're right. Line changes in hockey. It's better metaphor. That's pretty much what it is. You get your edge guys in and third and longs, your pass rushing DTs, and your pass rushing edge rushers, cornerbacks, and things like that. You got a phone call coming in. Hold on. So call you live on Sports Talk 49. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Ray. Blake, what's up, brother?
Ray, what's going on? How are you?
Ooh, I'm just been holding my breath since Tuesday, It's been, sorry, am I getting, is that me feedback on your end?
No, you're good.
Yeah, it's just like, ever since they announced, you announced the one right tackle and then the defensive back, but then now to hear that there's more players, and of course we got some couple of days of negative tests, so everything looks good, but we knew that's how 2020 was going to be. It's like roller skating on ice, brother, but we're making it so far.
Absolutely. As I showed earlier with Ian Rapoport, he's talking about that the guys weren't wearing masks and not practicing safety protocols. But fortunately, luckily that 10:38 this morning it was reported that none of the Raiders players had tested positive for COVID. So it seems that everything should be rocking and rolling. The Raiders should only be without safety Jonathan Abrams.
Right, and Schrager from NFL Network, but he's also on Fox on Sundays, was talking about this just on a podcast I listened to this week. Is every Sunday morning they're on, I guess early in the morning they're doing a little show, and then the tests come back because that's about the time between 10:30 and 11 is what time your tests from the day before come back. But what are you thinking about this week? As far as I know, I got to be honest with you, the moving up from 8 to 4 doesn't make a big amount of difference to me. And, we got Monday night next week at New York Giants, and the following Sunday night we hosted the Saints on Sunday night. So that would have been just 3 primetime games so close together. So as far as moving this up to 4 o'clock, do you think it's a letdown, or the team's going to possibly go in there middle deflated?
I don't think you go deflated. I mean, I think they'll still be ready to rock and roll, to whatever. You get to play a little earlier instead of waiting until late at night. I don't think that really matters as far as players go. The game plan's already instilled. Everything's ready to rock and roll. It was a precautionary thing, and I'm sure Bruce Arians voiced that to them, what was going on. So these guys, I don't think that's going to shake them up at all. So I'm thinking as a player aspect, is it exciting to get to play prime times? Yeah, but does it really going to affect you on the field? No. I think they'll be ready to go, Ray, and I think they should perform very well.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, my friend, as far as on the front side going into Oakland, even though Vegas had the bye week, so they've had time to rest up.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs are coming off that nice high off of last week, the backside kicking the Green Bay Packers. But I said, when I looked at the schedule, and of course our schedule picks up with the Chiefs and with the Rams, and then of course we have the Saints again. And before we have a little bit of a break, if you want to call it a break at the end of the year, depending on what Raheem Morris is doing there in Atlanta and what they sold off or what they still have. But when I looked at this schedule and I said, wow, number one, it was the amount of primetime games we had, but this stretch right here, starting with what was going to be Sunday night at Vegas, that scared me. I was like, it's hard to. I hate to say it, but it is. Sometimes you got to get up. You get up a little more for the primetime games. And I'm not saying this team's not mature enough or motivated under Tom Brady and Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles to get up for these games. But when I saw the amount of them in such a short period of time, I thought, man, by the time we get to that backside game against the Rams on Monday night, or when we host the Saints on Sunday night, we're going to be going. We might get complacent. So I'm hoping that the team approaches it just like that. They go, all right, we moved it up to 4. Let's go and kick our butt, and then we'll get started with the prime time next week on Monday night when we're in the Meadowlands against those New York Giants.
Yeah, definitely. And the greatest part about the back half of the season, if you get back half of the season, is that it's colder, but all the games that they get to play in cold weather are in domes, so they get lucky on that part as well. But yeah, they do get a break on the second half of the season from the prime time games, and then you get the a considered weaker schedule. I don't consider anything weak, but in the NFL you never know.
No.
But yeah, you're right. They get a weaker schedule on the back end, and if you folks don't know who you're talking to Ray Kennedy, host of Cup of Ray, best columnist of 2019.
Brother, thank you. Now I wanted to say this too before I go. Man, I just forgot what I was going to say that as we get into fragmented Ray, by the way, as we get into these cooler months, I know we keep talking about it, but I hope anyone who's out there in the area and wants to come down, just because the games moved up to 4 o'clock, as we start getting into, now this Sunday's not going to be cool, but as it starts getting cooler out, those games down at the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla are going to just be so beautiful. Those wings are so hot. The fries are delicious, and we have great setup out there. Staying, again, responsibly and socially distanced, but I guarantee you, Roger Goodell won't write you up for violating any COVID protocols down there because we're keeping it real. But join us out there for our live game day coverage. And, of course, that'll start on Saturday or Sunday afternoon for a 4 o'clock game. We'll all be on by about 2, brother. Thanks for having me on today.
No problem, Ray. Good luck to your show coming up here.
Thanks, Blake. Take care, brother.
You too. Ray Kennedy, best of the day. Cup of Ray, best columnist of 2019, etc., etc. You can find Ray on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., usually around there, 9, 10 a.m., Ray. Ray's usually early. You see his previews walking around looking for a spot to shoot live. As Ray said, yep, the schedule does. You get a lot of primetime games back to back to back to back, and then you get the little weaker schedule coming up. I don't know if the time change is going to do too much for them flying backwards and losing sleep, traveling to Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't think that should play too much of a factor. The only part was, you lose a couple hours of sleep, being the game was played at 8:20. Like I said, they should be okay. Shouldn't affect them too much. They should be ready to rock and go, ready to rock and roll Sunday at 4:05 in the mid game, and everything should be good. As Ray say, the Deck Bar and Grill, get down there, got great wings, great food. The Cuban sandwiches are great. The blackened grouper is awesome. Just the experience there in New England clam chowder, I could go on forever. The stuff I've had there to try out. So they got a different variety of foods there that is really great down there at the Deck Bar and Grill, and you're missing out if you don't check it out. I'm gonna go into a commercial break, and then we're gonna come back with the winning angle, talk about what I saw, the tendencies and things like that, and then we're gonna take phone calls and answer questions on the comment section, and we keep rolling from there. And if you're just tuning in, it's Sports Talk 49 live on Bucks Report that is powered by 320 Solar. Put the power back in your pocket. I'm Blake Anthony, and enjoy the quick break, if I can get it.
Power bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up. Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. .320 Solar. Power up.
And we're back. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49 coming for the second half of Sports Talk 49 live on Bucks Report, powered by 320 Solar. Go to 320solar.com. Put the power back into your pocket. What's in your wallet? Mine's 320 Solar. What's yours? As always, check out mycannabiscard.com. Effectively links new patients with the closest state licensed medical marijuana doctor near them, while also saving them up to 30% on just mentioning Bucks Report, or me, or Peter Blake, or Blake Anthony, or whomever. Also, check out Fast Track Cannabis Clinics of America is the nation's largest medical marijuana doctor near them, with over 2,500 state licensed doctor in all 32 states. Medical marijuana is legal. Also, last but definitely not least, we're just talking about the Deck Bar and Grill Isla del Sol, the home of Bucks Report's live watch parties down at the Deck. Make sure to check out Cedric Robinson and the gang down there and enjoy the atmosphere, the view, the food, etc., and the people. So make sure to check that out. So as promised, I said I would get into the winning angle, and that we shall. Check this out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of The Winning Angle Live here on Bucks Report, always on my Friday show of Sports Talk 49. But today we're going to go into primetime game. Well, it's been flexed to 4:05, Buccaneers versus the Raiders. So let's check this out. All right, here we are here. I said, just remember, as much as things change, they stay the same. Remember this play against the San Diego Chargers. You guys, I know you guys remember this. This deep over route that Winfield got beat staring in the backfield at Justin Herbert, and they got beat over top. Why are you showing that? I'm showing that because there's a reason for it. And you think, if I'm watching this, don't think the Raiders aren't watching this. All right, so here we go. Here's why I bring this out. The Raiders, when they go to this bunch set, they love to go vertical. See, what he does here is they send the wide receiver in motion to get the safeties to rotate, and then send somebody right back where they came from to get somebody at misalignment. Derek Carr is reading deep the whole time. He gets the safety out of position from the wide receiver coming from the side. Got a nice angle to drop the ball in, and result is Nelson Aguilar for a touchdown. There'll be him and Ruggs catching these deep routes. So look out for that formation, as I told you. He loves to go deep on these routes. And mostly Darren Waller isn't in the game when these happen, unless he's in for pass protection. The Raiders' two major receivers are Waller and Renfro. Here it is again, same thing. Got the matchup you want. Safety's in the middle of the field. Ruggs is able to get that safety in one-on-one in a position that favors him, receiver, and the quarterback, and you can drop the ball in at that angle. So let's see here what happens. Carr's only thrown one interception all season. So let's see why he threw the interception. So when they go to these run sets, Carr loves to throw to Waller. He loves to throw to Waller and loves to throw underneath the Renfro. They have the two most receptions on the team. And we'll get into more of that when I'm talking on the show here. Just want to get into this tape breakdown real quick. Carr is blitzed. He immediately sees the blitz. And he's only looking for one person. That's Waller. But he misses the back. Wide open in the flats, who's waving his hands. And the other back on the other side. Instead, he forces the ball into coverage. And ensuing, it's an interception. Leading his only interception on the season. I believe he has 11 touchdowns, 1 pick, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, here's a return. We'll take another look at it at another angle here. You know I'll give it to you guys at a good angle. Here we go. Blitz comes. Carr sees the blitz. Immediately looks for his guy, Waller. Why not? 6'6 plus. Fast tight end. Lofts the ball. Intercepted. Look for nobody else on that route. Here's the Raiders on defense. As I told you, we were going to the defense there. They love to play this umbrella type cloud coverage. One up top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They love to play these guys this little umbrella defense or cloud coverage, if you whatever you want to call it. And they like to throw and they like to force you to throw these balls into these spots in the middle of the field and rely on pressure to get downfield. Now, mind you, running backs have had success on this defense. Alvin Kamara had 95 yards receiving on them. Christian McCaffrey, Singletary. So there'll be opportunities for the Buccaneers to throw under that coverage and to running backs, and for the running backs to get yardage. This would be a good big game for LaShawn McCoy and Ronald Jones if he can get his hands right for that game, and possibly Leonard Fournette if he's playing, or Keyshawn Vaughn. They all can catch passes. Here we go again with this defense against the Kansas City Chiefs, a game that they won. Here it is again. They love this cloud coverage. Now, 9 times out of 10, you'll see 24 down in the box and 42 over top. They are not pretty good. They're not good in coverage. This is all I got for you today. Appreciate you guys, and thank you for watching another edition of The Wing and Angle.
There it is, handsome cat. Speaks so well spoken. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49, live every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. That can always be seen and heard right here on Bucks Report. And the show wouldn't be able to do it unless it had some power. And the power would be solar power at 320solar.com. Make sure to check out Frank Ammon's in the game and check them out. Also, I couldn't be this big and healthy without eating good. And that's thanks to Cedric Robinson in the game out there at the Deck Barn Grill, Isla del Sol, as well as Fast Track Cannabis Clinics of America, and mycannabiscard.com. So make sure to check those guys out. So now, with that being said, I saw there's a comment here before I get in there, and it's relevant to that. Carr forces the ball to Waller. He's gonna get the ball to Renfro, and these DBs are gonna have a great time covering these guys. Well, Waller's got some speed now, and Renfro does got some wiggle to him, so they're gonna have to be mindful in that situation. Said Murray Cabrera, shout out to my Buckaholics and family in Vegas. Yes, shout them out. Don't be shy. Yell the names and yell it high. Buckaholics family invading Las Vegas. Over 300 red jerseys out there on the strip. That's awesome. Misador, as a player, you got to think the early start is beneficial. Being anxious to play gets you exhausting. I don't know. Let's say Gary Eddings. The secondary seems to be improving every week, but I have noticed taller receivers seem to give them a hard time. The average DB in the league is about 5'10", 5'11". So when you get corners like Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis and Sean Murphy Bunting that are 6 feet, it's beneficial, especially if they can move and have long, lengthy arms, because you don't run into corners like that too often. And a lot of these receivers now are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and 6'5". Look at Mike Evans and the catches he's allowed to make, the catch radius. And DB can only do so much in a jump ball situation or a 50-50 ball situation without commencing a foul or a penalty or something like that. But yeah, it's pretty tough when you got to cover guys like that, and even tight ends and things like that. That's why it's good to put yourself in good positioning, and then sometimes it's just a good ball thrown. There's nothing you can really do about it, even when you're in great cover. So I'm not so hard on him when it's just a great play like that. Sean Murphy Bunting and that touchdown he gave up to the tight end in the San Diego game, that ball was actually thrown low where he would have had a chance to either pick it or swat it away had he located the ball earlier or whatever had happened at that point. I have to look at that play again, but I remember the ball placement was not high, it was lower. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate when those situations happen. And that's just happens. But they are, to what Gary says, they are meshing well. It's because of the communication. The communication is really, really good versus when Vernon Hargraves and other players were here. The communication level has gone up, and I don't expect it to change. You kept guys here that are familiar with each other, familiar with the system, and were leaders on their team. There was a guy, those are part of the qualifications Bruce Arians was looking for guys that were captains on their team, were looked at as leaders on their team, and could teach other people what's going on in the team. That's why you pick up guys like that. So they're an extension of the coach on the field, so when stuff breaks down or stuff's going on, the communication level is the same, so you're not getting busted coverages and things like that. Offense, Brady's leading that. We got a veteran leading at the quarter position. When Tom came in replacing Jameis Winston, although Jameis is a leader, there's just things that Tom Brady offers that Jameis Winston can't offer. And that's just the way it is in football sometimes. Just you need those kind of guys. I'm more talking about the defense. You need those kind of guys that can teach, coach, and train when the coach is not around, and the communication is transparent to when he's talking to when the players are talking amongst each other when you communicate in the game. So that's an elongated answer, Gary, but yeah, I agree with you. The communication level is gone up. They're way aggressive than what they used to be, and the reason why you're aggressive is because you trust that your pass rush is going to get there. You trust that your technique, you trust in what you see, is what I showed you on my perspective of Dean's interception when they ran that play 3 times, that pattern 3 times before it was picked off. Excuse me. before it was picked off and returned for a touchdown, ultimately sparking the team to go on that run and put a 38-10 beat down on the Green Bay Packers, who came in here overconfident, overzealous, and thought they were just going to walk over the Bucs like they've done in the past. Sadly, but that it didn't work out that way for them. So yeah, Gary, I know it's a long answer and all that, by all means. But that's cool though. With Maurice Cabrera, with the Buckaholics family in Vegas, I would love to go on out there, but the whole COVID situation kind of killed my vibe going out there. I had never been out to Vegas, Nevada before, and I wanted just to enjoy the experience and things like that as its full capacity, as it normally is, rather than a catered, not catered, I would say what's the word I want to say, non-enhanced or diminished or safety protocol Vegas. I just want to experience the whole thing. Not a gambling guy, it's just experience, man. And that's why I go out there, try their latest dishes and things like that, and go out there and try foods and look at spots and stuff like that. And plus, John Taffer, is from out there, Bar Rescue. John Taffer's been out here to Tampa plenty of times. I just want to check it out, bar scene and all that stuff. So it was a big experience. So I have to wait till next time and go out to the next away games next year. But back on the game, look for Waller to get a lot of passes or a lot of looks. He gets a lot of passes his way and looks. Same thing with Renfro. They're going to try to get the ball over top to Ruggs. They don't really throw a lot of mid passes to Ruggs and those guys. From what I'm looking at their numbers, he usually gets the ball to the same people and force feed Josh Jacobs in the backfield. They're going to run the hell out of him, then run those play actions with Waller and Carr and Josh Jacobs. So they're just going to run, and then going to hit you with a pass fake and try to hit Waller on a crossing route of some sort, because he's got that kind of speed. And if he gets around, the corner on you, he will outrun you, and he's tall enough, he will catch over you. So those are kind of the things that Darren Waller offer, what that tight end position at being at that size. Of course, if you have any questions you want to call in and talk about, 727-475-1882. Again, that's 727-475-1882. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Also, I almost forgot. That's why I always put notes. Opponents have had success with running backs catching the ball underneath the cloud coverage. Burkhead had 7 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown against him. Kamara had 9 receptions for 95 yards. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 3 receptions for 40 yards on him. Did not score, though. They've had success catching under and getting yards after. So that's something that's probably going to be available. So Keyshawn Vaughn, Shady McCoy, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones are going to have to catch the ball this week and get those yards, make that first guy miss, and get those extra yards and kind of take some of the load off of Tom Brady, because I think this is a week they can really get off in the pass reception department and make a lot of plays, in my opinion, based on what I saw on that tape. They're giving up a lot of underneath, especially if Tom Brady can get the ball out quick to the back while he's running. It's basically like an extension of a handoff. So that's what I saw on their defense. You can give that up. And the safeties like to play one high a lot, and with a lot of the guys zone underneath. The safeties will rotate. Not sure if Abrams is going to be in there. 24 and 42, I'll just tell you the numbers because it's easy for people. You'll see 42 up top a lot. 24 will be down in the box. 24 will go over top too. But those guys really aren't too good. They're not really coverage safeties a whole lot. They're tacklers and big hitters. But they can cover. I'm not going to say they're scrubs or anything. They can cover and get the job done. It's just they're not rangy like Buda Baker's playing out of his mind now, watching him play that last primetime game, taking over for Tyrann Matthews. See the progression of people moving on and playing well. But you're going to see that a lot. You're going to see them down in the box trying to run a robber down there and try to force you to throw hot routes into their zone and things like that. So I think it's essential for them to get the ball to the back this week, let the back pick up as many yards as they can and kind of chip away, kind of chip away from there and then take their shots when you get a chance to take your shot with Mike Godwin, Scotty Miller, and things like that. But I think Rob Gronkowski and the Leonard Fournette, it either Ronald Jones is going to get his carry. So it'll either be Leonard Fournette or Shady McCoy, LaShawn McCoy should have a good game this week against this cloud coverage, or Rob Gronkowski or one of the tight ends. But we'll see. Also, speaking of it, but Anthony Allclair is set to return from injury because he was on the 6-week injury report, so he should be back by then. He should be back now from injury. So I'm just going to push Tanner Hudson down, depending on if they decide to play Allclair this season. It's been kind of crazy, though, not seeing Brake too involved in offense. In my opinion, he's not healthy. I mean, the way he runs, he doesn't seem like he really has it like he used to have before. He used to have a little wiggle. You know, he wasn't an overly athletic guy, but he could move a little bit. And just when I'm watching him now, I don't really see that same guy being from all those 2 years of injuries. Maybe that really played a part in the degression of his play and his reps on offense. So it's interesting to see, but he's part of a cap situation that could save too. And speaking of the cap, I brought that up too. So a lot of people talk about, you know, cap and re-signing Godwin and things like that. You're going to have a lot of cap to play with next season because you got a lot of movements you can make. By the way it's looking now, I'm not sure if they'll keep Leonard Fournette. Sue's $9 million will be off the books. Not sure what they want to do with Donovan Smith or draft another offensive lineman because that's $14 million they could release and not take a hit for it because it has no guaranteed money left. That's a decision there if they want. Ryan Jensen will have 1 year left on his contract because it will be due $10 million. And I'm just trying to think of that. I know Ali Marpet restructured his contract. So probably from what it looks to me that they're trying to work out some money to get for Levante David to extend him out, and that's what I think because I had Ron Butler, CEO of Agency One Sports. I had Levante David's agent on here not too long ago. If you missed it, I posted on Bucks Report page. It's on my social media pages. Check it out. Ron talks about contracts, you know, with Levante David in the past. And he's talking about they're trying to sign Levante David to retire here as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer on this next contract. Hopefully so. Same as they did with Brooks and all that and things like that. Levante David is a class act and the guy that needs to finish his career here and have his name across the banner up top right along with Devin White when he builds up his tenure here when he gets 7 years in the league and things like that. So it's good to see that Ron, you know, let us know a little bit. You know, me and Ron talked off air, and, you know, that's kind of, we didn't really talk about it because it's an ongoing thing, but he's here to tell you that they are working out contracts with Jason Licht and Mike Greenberg on contract extension with Levante David because they feel that he is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer guy and belongs and needs to finish here in that uniform. And the goal is to finish a Buccaneer, and that is per Ron Butler, CEO of Agency One Sports and Levante David's agent. You can find that conversation on any of my social media pages. If not, you can message me and I will point you in the right direction. Also, if you're just tuning in, I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49 live on BucksReport.com every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. This show is also powered by 320 Solar. Go to 320solar.com and put the power back into your pocket. As for Frank Ammons, mention me, mention Bucks Report, and Frank and the guys will take care of you and pay nothing out of pocket till 2022. And the payments you pay will be less than your monthly electric bill. So check it out. Can't hurt. You own your home, go for it. Everything's going in that solar direction anyway, so you might as well jump on it while it's early and while you don't pay any payments till 2022. Why not, right? So as I was saying, they're on defense. They're going to run the cloud coverage. Raiders are going to try to get pressure up front. Buccaneers get to see former Buccaneer Carl Nassib, who hasn't really been too stellar for the Raiders. Hence, that happens. You went to Cleveland, didn't do much. You came to Tampa Bay. You played very well in the 2 years you were here. Got paid and went out to Oakland. That's usually how that works. But then you learn. that you are a systematic kind of guy. When you go somewhere else, your game is not transparent. So old Carl over there, is not really showing out in Oakland. And from rumors I heard, he was pretty low on the depth chart for a little while, but they had already invested money into him. And can't really, backtrack. I mean, you can, but it looks kind of crazy if you do so. And speaking of crazy, I could never say that it's crazy. The other Fantasy fans want to bring out Antonio Brown. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about bringing on Antonio Brown? At the one point where there's injuries all over the place, the thought did cross my mind. Dez Bryant was still available. But Brown's more of Brady's kind of receiver, underneath slot receiver, can make big plays when in space. But it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with Brown with his suspension being lifted after week 8. That's when he can be signed because Roger Goodell and the committee, sentenced him to an 8-game penalty, which I think he needed anyway to get his life straight with his whole legal issues going on and things like that. So I think it worked out for all parties involved. Sad that the Raiders had to trade for them, offer him a big contract, and it fell apart. So looking forward to seeing what AB was going to do with the Raiders. But who knows? Who knows? The injuries happens. It could well be in the realm of possibility. And rumor has it that Seattle Seahawks are interested in Antonio Brown. And it will fit there perfectly. It's a high risk, low reward for Seattle. Everything in Brown's favor would be to play for them. Show out, show them that he's still serious about playing football, show him that he can play football. And then after that pretty much 8-game resume, you get signed somewhere else and you play. Probably not going to be somewhere too great. You're not going to end up like Le'Veon Bell to the Chiefs, things like that. But it's a possibility. But I don't think they would do that, in my opinion. But Seattle might pick him up, so we'll see how that works. We'll see how that ends up. Like I said, it's a high risk, low reward for Seattle. There's really no risk in that. What will you see? What will we see from the Raiders' offense? Oh, you just missed. I can't pronounce your first name, Young. And I don't want to butcher it. I posted it on there. What you're going to see is a lot of vertical throws. You'll see a lot of throws to Waller. You're going to see a lot of underneath throws to Renfro. But when Carr gets in trouble, he looks at Waller. He really is going to look at Waller, and he's going to look at Renfro. And then when you see those bunch formations, they're going to send Ruggs and Nelson Aguilar vertical and try to beat the safety over top. So Antoine Winfield Jr., I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier, should have a pretty decent game this game if he plays his reads, looks at what I looked at, and and play discipline, which I'm pretty sure he will. And I think he'll do just fine this game. But they're going to test him deep. Carr, like I said, Carr doesn't really throw a whole lot underneath stuff to Ruggs and Nelson Aguilar. I have no idea why. Probably because they're in 12 personnel a lot, because they run with Josh Jacobs a lot, and then run play actions and then try to get the ball to Waller and Renfro. So that's pretty much a lot of their offense is going to be. So the Bucs are great at stopping the run. And I expect the Raiders to counterpunch by trying to find some way to slow down the rush with screens and quick passes and things like that, and throwing passes to backs out the backfield, which they've seen, that hurts the Buccaneers sometimes, as you saw in the Bears game when you get matched up with the mismatch that game. But yeah, no problem, Young, no problem. Check out the winning angle. I break down everything there with their stuff and all that. You should be able to click. You should be able to still click on the link after this is at the end and scroll through it and find it. Break down everything, the tape for you, and I take the tape and post it on social media for other people to look at too. But thanks for commenting. Who gets more rushing yards, Rojo or Jacobs? That is a good question. Good question by Rob Roller. I like that last name, Roller. Give me a second, Rob. Let me stop and think. Think about it. Let me stop and think about it, Rob. Who gets more yards? Ronald Jones or Jacobs? Oh, let me think. Give me a second. I'm going to go with Rojo. I think Rojo might have a good game, especially with Abrams possibly being out, and he's their enforcer on defense. I think Rojo gets out. I'm not trying to be a homer. I know the Raiders are going to run the hell out of Jacobs. I know they're going to run the hell out of him. But I think the Tampa Bay's defense is just too fast. Jacobs doesn't really have that breakaway speed, and the speed of Devin White and Levante David are going to counter-react to that. And I think Ronald Jones is going to get off, in my opinion, Rob. Thank you for asking. No problem, Young. Yep, it's there. It's always there. Every Friday I put out tape on the players. But Gruden's was tough, man. Gruden's was tough, but I figured out what he likes to do. It ain't as methodical West Coast as it once was, but I figured it out. And just check that out on the Winning Angle every Friday, and you can rewatch this and find the Winning Angle, or check me out on my social media where I'll have that up there later on, and you can see that there. But which is right here. There you go. You can find it right there, along with a bunch of other tape stuff I always break down. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm hungry. I'm going to get out of here, find me something to eat. And I appreciate you guys coming on here, giving me your Q&A and stuff like that, talking to me on here. But always just make sure to check out these sponsors at 320solar.com. Also, always going to be live and seen here at Bucks Report every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Monday doing post-game, Friday doing pre-game. Never know who I might talk to next. Try to get somebody from the Giants Super Bowl team on here to talk about the Giants next week. Monday night primetime game with the Giants. And we'll see how that goes. And we'll end this as we always do. You're the master of what you do with your life. What you do with this is entirely up to you. Click the link in the description box and get somebody in your family, your friend, anybody, this pink Mike Evans jersey. Support breast cancer awareness along with a pink mask. For any donations to the link in the box or on my page, make sure to click that link. $5, $1, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can contribute to breast cancer awareness is awesome. I know everybody's financial situations is different, and that's cool. So whatever you can donate, I'll raffle it off. Well, not raffle. I'll read off the winner at the end of the month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and mail that jersey off to you so you can keep it and do whatever you want and give it away at Christmas or whatever you want to do. Ooh, it's a good Christmas gift early too. It's already October. Yeah, so make sure to click that. It's in the description box if you want to donate, and just donate whatever you want. Make sure to share it to your friends, and I'm sure you guys know somebody that's somebody that's passed away from breast cancer awareness and things like that. I have personally known people from that and family members and stuff like that. So it's sad to see stuff like that. And I hope I don't ever have to deal with that, and I don't wish that on anybody else either. So it's my part of trying to show, love to that stuff that's happened. So we'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you, guys. God bless, and as always, fire those cannons. See you guys Monday.
Power bill through the roof? At 320 Solar, that power bill will be no more. In fact, about 90% of our customers report lower solar payments than with electricity. That's more power in your pocket. 320 Solar. Power up. Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down. But the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. 320 Solar. Power up.